Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to get started today with some upgrades. We're going to do a whole series right in a row. I want you to think summer potluck, all the stuff that you would bring, the things that you would take with you. We are going to do a collection of videos and we are going to upgrade them. And today we're going to start like, normal for us at the end. We're going to start with dessert. We're going to show you how to make a very, very classic old school treat. Then we're going to turn it up a notch. And then we're going to turn it up again. It's going to be good. Come on, let's go. This is one of the world's easiest recipes. It's a quarter of a cup of butter and 10 ounces of marshmallows, which is conveniently the size of the bag they come in. Unless you buy one of the family-sized bags, but whatever. Just going to melt this on low until it's all nice and smooth. Takes a few minutes because it is on low. While you're waiting for that to melt, get yourself a parchment-lined 9x13 pan. Take the parchment, spray it down with cooking spray. This stuff is sticky. It's starting to melt. It's getting there. It takes a few minutes, but it's worth the wait. Go nice and slow, that way you don't end up with roasted marshmallows. Which, ooh, y'all are lucky I don't have any graham crackers. This video would get real long. We'd be making s'mores Rice Krispies. There we go. Totally smooth. All mixed up nicely together. And now we add 6 cups of those famous noisy little crispy treats. I'm just going to mix this up. And you can pull it off of the heat and everything right now. Get all mixed in, all the way. Just make sure it's fully mixed and everybody is coated. And then I'm going to show you yet another trick. When you're working with Rice Krispies treats or anything super sticky, and some cooking spray, spray your hand. That way your hands don't stick to it. Get these out of your pot. Just dump them right into the middle of your 9x13. It's been greased. No sticking. You can do all sorts of creative stuff with these. And, that's kind of right up my alley. I like to see you guys doing crazy stuff. Get crazy with it. Have some fun in the kitchen. Cooking is not a chore. Not if you're having a good time, goofing around. Getting creative. There we go. And that is it. That is your classic Rice Krispies treat. You just gotta let them sit and cool and get set up and they're ready to go. And if you notice the extra long parchment paper, and that is what it's for. Makes lifting out of your pan super easy. Works really well with fudge, brownies, crispy treats, all that good stuff. Alright, now let's get on to the next one. Almost the same recipe. Use a quarter stick of butter, or half a stick of butter, a quarter cup of butter, and 10 ounces of marshmallows. Get them melted. Okay, we're ready to go. And this is a good example of getting creative in the kitchen and just kind of horsing around, having a little fun. One ingredient, just changing that one ingredient can change the entire thing. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's back to the drawing board, but it's always worth a try. We have fruity cereal going in here. Yes! We are making the biggest bowl of nuclear colored cereal breakfast treat things that you can find. Same process, totally different result. So if you're having fun or you're getting any crazy ideas of your own, you should really subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel out, it does. If you watch YouTube, you've seen or heard that 1,000 times. It really helps the channel if you like and subscribe. Well, seeing the behind the scenes stuff, it really, really, really does. And we're going to have a whole bunch of these ready to go for you pretty soon with all kinds of craziness. So if you don't want to miss any of that, hit that subscribe button. Break it. Now, we're not done. We've taken our upgrade for Rice Krispies from level 1 to level 2. We're about to go from level 2 to level 20. Alright, so in the middle of production here, we have a guest. It's piracy. It's closer to the truth here. I'm being pushed out of my own kitchen, and I'm being pushed off of my own recipes because someone thinks that they can do my recipe better in my kitchen by themselves. So, I'm gonna let her take it. Enjoy.
It is not piracy. What he failed to tell you is that we came up with this plan together, and we were supposed to make them together, so of course he made 2 batches. I get to make the last one. And what better one than the one that has peanut butter and banana and chocolate? Come on, let's go. Alright, so we're going to use our same half stick of butter, and we're going to melt that down. And I know he said over medium heat, but whatever. And then to that, I'm going to add our 10 ounces of marshmallows, and we're going to get those so that they start to melt down. And just about halfway, we're going to add another ingredient. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. I'm super excited about these because we're not making them with Rice Krispy cereal, Rice Krispie cereal. We are making them with Reese's Puffs. And then we're got a special surprise. So let's go ahead and melt those down, and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, these are halfway melted, and they looking goopy. And we're going to add, like I said, anywhere between a 1/4 cup and a 1/2 cup peanut butter. And this is creamy. You can use chunky, but in this case we're going to use creamy. The chunky just gives a little bit more of that texture and that crunch. And we're just going to melt that down the rest of the way and incorporate that peanut butter into the marshmallows. And it's going to melt down pretty well. And you want to make sure this is on low heat because you don't want this to burn. Alright, we are fully incorporated. Everything's mixed up, and I'm going to go and I'm going to mix into that peanut butter marshmallow mixture my 5 cups of my Reese's Puffs cereal. And this is that chocolate and peanut butter cereal. And we're just going to stir this, and we're going to mix it, make sure it's well combined. And that goopy, look at that. Oh, look at how that's doing. And it's sticky. It's a sticky, sticky mess, but that's okay. Alright, that is all combined, and I've got my 13 by 9 lined, and we're just going to pour this mixture into that pan, and we're going to get it all in there, and we're going to press it down. So go ahead and do that, and then we're going to add our secret ingredient, number 1. There are 2 to this recipe. Woohoo, so excited. Alright, we've got it out of our pan, and we're just going to press this down into Alright, it's all out of our pot. I'm just going to use a silicone spatula that I have sprayed with a little bit of cooking spray so that it doesn't stick as I'm trying to spread this out into the pan. And you want it to be nice and even. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay because, like I said, we're going to add to this, we're going to add ingredient number 1, and then we're going to do something special, and we're going to let it cool, and then add ingredient number 2. Are you excited? I am. Okay. Now, I've got these marshmallows. They are banana marshmallows, and we got them in the international food section. They look like little bananas. Aren't they so cute? And we're just going to press these into the top of this mixture. And you want to get them so that they stick. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, I know a lot of people don't like this kind of consistency. They're very, very similar to Peeps, but they have a light banana flavor, and I really think they're adorable. And I think that they're going to be a good addition to these treats. Alright, so they're all pushed in, and you can give them a little bit of a shove. You kind of want to get them to make sure that they're going to stick down in there, because the last thing you want to do is flip this sucker over and them to all come off. So we're going to give it a little bit of a push. See that? And they will get in there, and they're going to melt a little bit because of the heat, just from the residual heat of that peanut butter mixture. I'm just going to push that down inside just a little bit. And then we're going to let these cool, and we'll be back with our next ingredient. Very excited. Yay! Now our pan is nice and cooled, and our marshmallows are stuck in there. And we're going to flip this out onto a piece of parchment on the counter. And we're going to work on secret ingredient number 2. You want to flip this out and peel that parchment off. Look at that. Look at how cute that is, our little dots. They're so cute. Over here, I have a double boiler, so I've got some water that's being brought to a simmer on the bottom. And we're going to add about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. And I'm using semi-sweet. You can use dark chocolate. You can use milk chocolate. I prefer the semi-sweet. And we're just going to stir this around until it completely melts and it's nice and smooth and creamy. We've got our chocolate melted. It's nice and smooth. There's no little clumps left in there from the chocolate bits. And you want to make sure you don't introduce any kind of liquid in this because it'll seize up your chocolate. And now we're going to pour this and spread it out on the bottom of our treats. You want to make sure you don't burn yourself on the pan because it can be hot. But we're going to just drizzle this on. Just pour that chocolate right on there. And you want to try to get it as evenly as possible. It's going to go down in those little crevices, those little nooks. But that's okay. You just want to make sure that you get this even. And if you need to melt some more chocolate, you can do that. But usually 1.5 cups on a 13x9 pan, 1.5 cups will do just fine. I'm going to spread that out. And when it's all done, we're going to let this cool completely before we flip it back over and then cut it into our little squares that we're going to serve. It is done. Our chocolate has hardened up and firmed up, and we're going to flip this back over, and we are ready to cut them all up. But we're going to bring, you know, pain in the butt back in here because he whined and complained that I took this one over. So we're going to bring him back in, and we're going to cut them all up. Cut them up using a sharp knife.
Everybody with OCD just threw themselves into traffic.
And our fruity one. And the good thing about these is they will stay in an airtight container, Ziploc bag, cookie jar, or something like that for a few days.
What are you doing? Take pictures.
Oh. Like and subscribe. Say like and subscribe.